In my lounge, I set up an aquarium, or rather let's just call it a mini ecosystem. But this one is different than any aquariums I have attempted before. I set up an aquarium for sand prawns and a few worms. But why? Let's rewind to the beginning. When the weather is good, I will go pump a few prawns, dig for worms, and target some big fish. While I was at the beach, I found a local fisherman collecting bait. Then I noticed something interesting. As he pumped in one of prawn holes, all the surrounding holes reacted. I had a closer look and thought to myself, there must be a serious maze of tunnels that these prawns construct. Even the seagulls came for a free lunch. So I got thinking. Let's build a tank with different compartments. I kept the front and back narrow, and the middle wider for the pumps and filters. I also kept a gap on the middle glasses for better airflow when I had the sand for the prawns. I put some temporary mesh in those gaps. I will remove it when the front layer of sand is added. With the tank all ready, I headed to the beach and got some sand. Filled the first compartment and added some seawater. I had to wait for the next day. I headed straight to the loose rocks, because I know I will find what I am looking for here. After flipping the first rock, the telltale signs were there. Those little tunnels you see there, they are sand prawn tunnels. Then I found what I was looking for. My first prawn. If you look closely at their tunnels, there is something really interesting. There are wider parts in the tunnel. They build them to flip over and go the opposite way they came from. Let's just look at that again. Among the prawns, there are plenty worms. One thing I noticed is that prawns are very territorial and they don't like sharing their tunnel. You can see as this prawn entered in the other's hole. With some prawns and a few worms collected, I can now introduce them to our new aquarium. But picking these little ninjas up also has its downsides. Those pinchers are there for a good reason, and this prawn just proved that. Yup, that was as sore as it looked. As I introduced them, their natural instinct kicked in, and that is to dig. But finding prime property comes with a price. You're not the only one that wants it. The first prawn buggered off, and then the rest of the gang came along. One of the prawns started digging in the corner of the tank, but I started noticing a very big problem with the aquarium. The sand I collected was not the same as the sand the prawns live in. Basically, it kept on rolling in, so the prawns found it hard to dig a tunnel. In the meanwhile, I added a real creepy looking worm. But before long the worm dug away, never to be seen again. I had to wait for the next day's low tide to fix our sand problem, but in the meanwhile, I had time to observe this new ecosystem in my lounge. As morning arrived, this strange worm appeared out of a rock. It seems like a worm that uses this feather-like tail to filter the water. This prawn made a tunnel not deep under the surface of the gravel. But they were still struggling to dig in. The good news is that it will be low tide soon. And with the low tide, I will collect some of the sand the prawns prefer. One thing I noticed is that the prawns will dig like crazy, then just like that, stop and chill. Unless another prawn comes along, then it is all out war, and they make up and move on. This female is still homeless, but that is actually good news. She will be easy to catch as I am doing a sand change soon. The female prawn carries the fertilized eggs attached to fine hair on her pleopods, also called swimmerets. She constantly fans them to keep water flowing over them. This provides oxygen and prevents fungus or debris from harming the eggs. Before I forget, let's just show you the setup running this ecosystem. There is a lot of water flow to oxygenate the sand the prawns live in, and when I introduce the prawns, I set the lighting on night light just to keep them calm at first. Then after a while, I set it on daylight. With low tide here, it is time to go fetch our sand. But first, let me show you where these sand prawns thrive in. All these little holes you see. They enter to a maze of tunnels these prawns call home. The black soil around the hole shows there was a prawn not long ago pushing out soil to finish a tunnel. I also spotted this cool shell, but a hermit claimed it first. The new sand is in, and now it is for the true test. Will the prawns approve? Is the big question. The next day, I started seeing exactly what I was hoping for. Let's just call it the prawn city is starting to take shape. Those volcano-looking holes appeared all over. That tell me I made the right choice to change the sand. I was happy, but also concerned. Not all residents found a home, and that bugged me. There were a total of 4 prawns that never dug a hole. So I had to do the right thing. I took them back to the ocean the next day. Let's get back to our aquarium now. I'm starting to feel really good about the tank and the fact that all the prawns found a home. Over the next week or so, the tunnels on the front glass appeared and disappeared the next day. But on the back side that we can't really see, there were way more. This made me think that my lounge simply is too bright, and the prawns, since they live underground, prefer the darker side. It was still cool to watch them at work, doing what prawns do. This one was busy moving all the sand it collected in the tunnel out. That's how those cool little volcanoes form and prawn holes. But this was my special girl. I still don't have a name for her. I am bad at names. I hope someone can give me a suggestion. Do you remember this prawn? Well, this is her now. Those eggs are almost ready to hatch now. I tried to zoom into those adorable little prawns. If you look nice, you can see the tiny eyes. The eggs turned from bright red to now basically prawn color. Then a few days later, she was gone. I was really concerned. I just hope she moved out of sight. It's crazy how fond I grew to what I will call a perfect fishing bait in the past. After getting to know these prawns and their really unique personalities, I doubt I will ever use a prawn as bait again. Was this for real? There are tiny prawns in the aquarium. I felt super proud. Once fishing bait turned pet, now a thriving prawn colony. How cool is that? A tiny prawn with many brothers and sisters. I will now add sand to the back part of our aquarium and repeat what I have learnt the past month. One more thing. A message from our prawn.
Don't use me as bait. And subscribe.